Can you tell me a little bit about like what were the major groups that were advocating for the Republican candidates? And by that I mean the independent expenditure groups. And who were the groups that were advocating for the Democratic candidates for Supreme
Sure.
Court?
Yeah, and so in Ohio, we saw three main groups backing the Republican candidates this cycle. One of them is called the Ohioans for Healthy Economy Action. This is an affiliate of the Ohio Chamber of Commerce, which has long spent in these Ohio Supreme Court elections. OHE Action is a super PAC, and it's tied to Ohioans for a Healthy Economy, which is a 501c4 dark money group. This group spent recorded spending over $2.3 million backing the Republicans this election cycle. It was funded from $1 million from Richard Uihlein via his super PAC called Fair Courts America. It also received a significant amount of funding from its 501c4 dark money affiliate, Ohioans for a Healthy Economy. That group itself is funded by the Ohio Chamber of Commerce and a bunch of other business interests in the state. Other funders included the Haslam family, who owns the Cleveland Browns, and Vivek Ramaswamy. Another group spending for the Republicans was the Republican State Leadership Committee through its Judicial Fairness Initiative. This group spent around $1 million, 600,000 on TV ads, and another 400 or so thousand on mailers. This group is heavily funded by Leonard Leo's Concord Fund, also known as JCN or the Judicial Crisis Network. And this group has probably been the premier right-wing group spending on state courts to capture state courts since 2014. It spent over $30 million on these state Supreme Court elections. And a lot of that money we suspect, has come through Leonard Leo's Concord Fund. A third group spending back in the Republicans was called Frecka PAC. This was a brand new super PAC that came out that was launched this year by plastics manufacturer David Frecka. He was the group's sole funder. He pumped $2 million in the group. They ultimately spent just over 1.2 million in the state Supreme Court race, and another half a million or so in federal races in Ohio. We didn't know much about Frecka going into this, but he's a major donor to right-wing candidates and causes. He's a big donor of the Washington, D.C. based Conservative Partnership Institute, which recognized Frecka as one of the handful of heroes funding it in 2021. The Conservative Partnership Institute is described as a nerve center for the right wing. That's a breeding ground for the next generation of Trump loyalists and an incubator for the policies he might pursue. So on the other side, there was a group back in the Democrats called Ohioans for Judicial Integrity. This group is funded heavily by billionaire Michael Bloomberg and a few other liberal-aligned groups. This group eventually spent just about $2 million back in the Democratic candidates.